Hey, welcome again. I'm Pat The Pauper with an episode of Cardboard Conversations. As always, here with the incredible, the indelible, it's Bob from MTG Gaming. Bob, how you doing, bud?
I don't know if I've ever been described as indelible, but I'm doing pretty well.
That's one of the things is, you keep it straight on the arrow. That's what I like. You can always expect Bob is a straight shooter. He always comes out. He's truer than a Magic the Gathering foil.
Oh man, that's not a high bar to hit. That's actually pretty
Yeah,
low.
we already
It
got
makes
some people down in the comment section. Hey, Savannah Lion, Dual Brain, and oh, look at that. MTG Gaming Bob and Pat the Pauper lurking down there in the comment section. Thanks for
noise.
coming in tonight.
Love always having you here, Savannah and Ed, and anybody really that shows up. I know that you're up really late, Savannah, so we try to make quality content for you, buddy. We really do.
Oh,
Um,
Art.
I know that you and I were a little at odds on Ed's stream. Was that earlier today? A little bit.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate we can't have a chat here live, Savannah, because I am more than willing to debate all these points with people. Matter of fact, Pat and I were talking about the 30th commemorative edition. Surprise, surprise! Before the show started, and I said it on Ed's show tonight. Like I'm kind of perplexed that everybody's getting so mad at this collector's commemorative edition. But when you hear the arguments, it's like, I'm mad at commemorative edition because of pringling and bad quality. I'm mad at 30th collector's edition because of what they could do in the future. I'm mad at 30th collector's edition because they put out too many products. I'm mad at 30th collector's edition because it's the only thing they're doing for Magic 30th. It's like you hear all these arguments, and I'm like, first off, some of those are true, except for the not making anything else for a 30th. But some of those really have nothing to do with the commemorative edition.
Well, yeah,
Like
and
too
that's
many
the thing
products,
is,
maybe it's part of it, but it's going to be a limited print run. This is not nobody's saying, oh, 30th commemorative edition printed into the ground. That's not one complaint I've heard yet. They can't say, oh, it's going to pringle. At least I hope it doesn't, because it's not even going to be foiled.
right. Yeah, that would be quite something else. I mean, from what
So I don't know.
I'm really gathering on the product itself is that it's not for everybody, and that's just fine. They make a lot of products that aren't for everybody. We just recently saw some Magic the Gathering Commander starter decks. I think it's 5 decks, um, and they're all pretty underpowered, pretty low key kind of stuff. They come out the gate, they all play against each other on an even field, but it's not for everybody. I've got some pretty tuned up stuff. I'm not going to play against those. I'm not going to engage with that product. It's not for everybody. And this product isn't for everyone either. This is a commemorative collector's item. It's $1,000 for a reason. It's something special. Some secret layers, they're more expensive because you're getting a better product. It's like Time Spiral Remastered. It was more expensive than Dominaria United because you got a better product. The same thing with a lot of stuff. And I think this is just an example of that. Not everybody has to buy everything. I'm not buying this. It's not for me. But I can't hold it against other collectors, other players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
totally
me,
hear you.
he's going to pick up some of this stuff. The baller bastard he is.
Well, like I mean, you make a great point. Like those starter kits, how many of those do you own?
Absolutely zero.
Okay.
Yeah,
And Pioneer decks, not for me.
they will
Challenger
not.
decks,
Yeah,
not for me. There's
exactly.
a lot of things they make that aren't for me. The textless or the full text pictureless lands, not really for me. The
No.
horrible what are they called? The new ones, the constellation lands, that they're not constellation, they're the whatever those are. The zodiac lands.
Zodiac lands.
They're
Yeah.
fucking terrible.
And
So
overpriced and
not every
undelivered.
product
Yeah.
is for me. I didn't buy any of the Warhammer 40K. Just not. You got some, I got none, or you ordered some and then canceled. I got none. It doesn't appeal to me. It just doesn't. I'm not a Warhammer 40K, and it just there's nothing like super about it for me. But I'm not angry that they made it. I'm not angry that it's $1,200 for a set of them, more than
Yeah.
the 30th collector's
And,
edition.
and that's a great example as well. Like My Little Pony. Let's go ahead and level people's anger. If you're upset about a commemorative edition of Magic the Gathering for their 30th year anniversary, also be mad that they made My Little Pony. If you're going to be pissed about one, you need to really level your thoughts and figure out if you're going to be mad about something else. That product's not for you. Is My Little Pony something that you want to buy, Bob?
Not for $400 or whatever it is now.
Well,
Like,
that's the
sorry,
thing. You know, what
it's
you're
not much.
getting and the price point to buy into it. It's not a product for everybody. It was made for a niche audience for a niche purpose. They were celebrating some sort of a crossover IP, and boom, hey, it's expensive, it's commemorative. It's hard to get now. I think a
It's going
lot
to
of
be harder
stuff
to get
in
in the
Magic the
future.
Gathering
I can tell
going
you that.
forward is going to be like that.
I can tell you this: those commemorative editions, if you think they're hard to get now, just wait 2 years.
Absolutely.
You wait to see if the price drops.
Hey, what up, back opening?
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to keep kicking that pony. I just don't. It feels to me like there's a lot of rage that is unfairly targeted towards the 30th collector's edition. It has nothing to do with the actual product. They said that they released it. They said, oh, well, it was marketed for everybody. No, they said it was marketed at new and old players alike. But guess what? There are new and old players alike that have fat stacks of cash. They didn't say they were marketing it at every new and old player. Right. So,
Well, on the flip side, though, things I am looking forward to is the change of the ARC system for delivery of series of Magic the Gathering products. Wow, that was way too much setup. Okay,
what?
so
You lost me.
from what I'm understanding with how they're presenting Phyrexia is we're going back to an arc storyline. So we'll see a series of events occur over 3, 4, even 5 different sets possibly. With Phyrexia All Will Be One, Rise of the Machines, and Aftermath, blah blah. So I'd really like that kind of transition. With how fast Magic is coming out with product, it is easy enough for them to actually make a storyline that's delivered in that way. Oh, Bob,
Talk
what you
about
got?
storyline. So, this is a product that I do really love and believe in. If you've never played it, it is a PvE customizable card game. You build your deck, and it says 1 to 2 players, but that's a lie. You could play it with, 4 or 5. You're not playing against each other. You're playing with each other. And when we're talking about lore, and that's what triggered me and what Pat was saying, he likes that the story arc's going to be coming up more prevalently across multiple sets, but it's never really part of the game, right? In the
True.
Lord of the Rings, you have scenarios that are part of the storyline, like rescuing Frodo from the spider, that kind of thing. That's actually part of the active game that you're playing. I would love to see them try to start incorporating different, and I mean different from what we're used to, in an entirely different way of playing Magic. Somebody had mentioned it today. I can't remember what got me thinking about it. It was on Ed's stream. And it was like basically killing the old to make way for the new. And I think that part of that is true. Like 30 years, you've been playing lands and playing cards and turning them sideways. That's 30 years the way you play Magic. However, I think that it is time and necessary for WotC to stay funky and fresh, not arena. That's not it. That's not your answer. I think that's more of a vampire, a leech, than it is a savior. To incorporate some things from successful games out there. It's like the Japanese or BASF. We don't make products, we make the products you love better. And I think, like, if you watch the Japanese and if you ever live there, there's some very innovative ways of thinking. Like, why reinvent the wheel? Why not take that good wheel and make it the best wheel?
Right. Yeah. Stick an engine in the middle and have that beast go round. Yeah,
Right?
that's a fine enough point. There's a lot that Magic can learn as a company from other institutions really in the market. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, they're doing a lot of real crazy stuff. I think some of that is starting to bleed over with the incredible different foilings that we're seeing. With the Galaxy foils that just came up, and for all guesses, it honestly does look that the new Phyrexian leaks with their weird stamp foiling is going to be a real product. So I think Magic is starting to take in some stuff from other games. Even with the flip cards, I think that was done in another product beforehand already.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I think that's a.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you mean. The game has to evolve, but why follow this path? I don't know what path you're referring to.
I think
Um,
Savannah might be talking about the monetization portion of it. Instead of, making it more for the players, it seems as though some of the recent changes in Magic is really about making changes for the stockholders. And it seems as though that might have backfired with the last week or so in the market.
well, I think that there's room for both. The problem is that the entrenched Magic community that's there, they want it to be their Magic. They don't. They're not
Mhm.
necessarily trying to expand out to new markets. Don't you dare put a Bugs Bunny on my card. Don't make them more expensive. Don't go for the whales.
Right.
Don't. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't. Don't get off my
Yeah.
lawn. Is what I'm
Not
hearing
my
from the Magic
Magic.
community.
Yeah.
And
Not my Magic. Yeah.
there's going to be if you want the game to exist, to continue to thrive, to move forward. Innovation is not always comfortable for everybody that's been there for a long time. You got to be willing to accept that it may go in directions you're not happy with. I hate to say this because I defend the 30th collector's edition to an extent, but I defend it more because what I consider non sequitur type of arguments that we're hearing about the product, and that I think leads to unhealthy debate. To
Mm.
agree to insanity just because, well, I hate the color purple because my father used to beat me with a purple belt. So these people that hate purple because it tastes funny, well, I'm going to side with them. You getting beat with a belt in hating purple is nowhere near the same reason the people that hate the taste of it, but you band together for some odd reason, only because you both hate the color purple. And what I mean by that is I hate this product because it offends me in some particular way, right? But it's not airing your grievance and getting across what the issue is that's bothering you most, and that will never get addressed, right? If you're making non sequitur arguments, you can't ever get to the resolution of what the real problems are that bother you. And if you guys have listened to me for any length of time, I bitch about WotC all the time here. I would love for you guys to list all the ways that I bitch about WotC and the things I hate about it and things I think they should do to improve. And I agree they should cut back on. Everybody agrees. I don't think there's one person that does not agree that they need to cut back on the amount of products they put out. Not one person that plays the game, collects, talks about it on YouTube. Haven't heard a dissenting opinion about that. Like, I love all these products coming out. It's great for me.
Right. I
There's nobody that says
enjoy
that.
getting just a shotgun flurry of absolute garbage every single weekend when I go to my LGS. I mean, you go down there and it looks like an old school cigarette machine with all the options of bullshit packs. It's loads of garbage for the low price of 3.95, and you can get all sorts of stuff that you've never heard of because it comes out so friggin' fast that it's even hard for content creators to stay up to date with it.
And MTG attitude, I love you. I would give you a big wet sloppy kiss right now if I could, but your wallet's only hurt because you were the dumbass that spent money on something, right? You're
Oh,
responsible for what you buy, not the people who make it. So I tell this to everybody, don't ever buy anything that you're not willing for it to go to zero in a card game, folks. Like,
mm,
this is not this. I'm not here as a financial analyst or what do they call that? Money manager or any of that to like tell you how you're supposed to get your retirement funds going. I look at products that I think they're going to do relatively well based on my experience in the community and whatnot. And putting the blame on WotC for any of your card values going to nothing is really just an insane and inane argument, right? What would it take for Magic to go to zero? What would it take for
hmm.
WotC to truly kill the game? They can't, is the answer. Everybody collectively that owns any Magic cards whatsoever would have to agree they have no value.
Oh,
And
and
with all the
that's
millions
the
and
thing is
billions that
even
are in it,
after the fact. Yeah,
nobody's going to do
there's
that.
still there's still play value. Even if there's no more collectability, if the company goes bunk, people are still going to be able to open up a sealed box of Zendikar Rising for all fucking sake and still have a draft environment. There's
Mm-hmm.
still things that people can enjoy with it. So, yeah, no, I don't think that they'd ever be able to truly kill the game. As a company, yeah, they might lose enough market share, so something more entertaining, more engaging is what's most prevalent in the market, but I doubt that that's ever going to really be a thing. They might lose more and more ground, though. The more that they put out, the less that they can sell. The the people that really love the game aren't loving this stuff lately, and that's the toughest. The most hardcore
Well,
people,
and that's
people
also
who have
see
the
that,
largest voice that make the most splash, aren't liking what's happening lately.
but see that
Yeah,
bothers me
you got
because
your take.
that assumes that assumes a position that everybody's entitled to get everything. If you enjoyed playing Unfinity, guess what? It exists. Enjoy it. If you can't afford Brothers War or Collector's Edition or Lord of the Rings or Battle for Baldur's Gate or whatever, just straight don't buy it.
Well,
Play the
and
game
that's
the way that you
yeah,
like to play it. You know,
yeah,
it exists. You don't have to keep up. You know,
yeah.
that's
No,
that's not that's not a
I'm
prerequisite
100%
to play the
behind
game.
that. Instead of investing into Magic product or buying stuff that I'm not looking forward to opening and playing with, I bought an Xbox. I mean, that's something I know I'm going to have fun, enjoy playing, a couple of times a week, 20, 30 hours a week, maybe in my free time if I'm lucky. Yeah, right. But I'll enjoy doing this more. The money I spent on buying a new pair of shoes or a nice jacket, that's better for me at this point than buying any of these starter decks. Instead of trying to get my money scraped together so I can buy something and open it on the channel, no. I'm going to buy the stuff I want to. So I've got some money set aside for the Brothers War and Dominaria Remastered. But if they're not good, I'm not going to buy that shit either. And that's one of the things that we talk about all the time. Like you, for example, you've got Vegas behind you, and that's part of the stream tonight. That's some content we were looking to talk about for a while. Instead of wasting our money on BS product that's not for us, that we're not going to enjoy engaging with, you're going to go have a great time, enjoy yourself, have the time of your life, meet a bunch of other content creators, and celebrate an anniversary for Magic. And don't have to worry about stuff that you're not liking. And that's one of the things is so many people nowadays would rather spend their time bitching about stuff that they
Yes.
don't like instead of being happy about what they do like. I fucking love Doubled Master 22. Modern Horizons 2 is bangers. Why be mad about all this stuff that's not for me? Be happy about the stuff that was for me.
Dude, you know what I played last week with Matt? And it was a blast.
Let me pop you up here.
Absolute blast.
Ooh, pretty, pretty. Oh, those
You
look
guys aren't
so
playing.
awesome.
This is Funfinity. What an absolute phasmatasmic time. Look at that, a see-through card. Woo. That's pretty slick. You know, it got poo-pooed on initially. I'll tell you, the financials seem pretty solid just with the lands that are included. You know, you can count on every pack being worth at least $1 in extra value just from the lands alone. You're going to get in a draft box probably 2 to 3 Spock lands. One of them is going to be foil.
Oh, wow.
I mean, just between those alone, you're talking about $80-$90, right?
Yeah, that's solid.
So,
Wow.
okay. I mean, not terrible from the financial aspect. And if you had fun drafting and playing it, well, then win.
You're getting your money's worth and some. Yeah,
The
absolutely.
stickers were way more fun than I expected them to be. They were way more impactful than I thought they would be. Holy crap. But no, Pat and I are both not monetized just yet. I think we're both over the 4K hours by quite a bit.
I'm actually shy on the 4K. I think I'm at like 3,000 hours, something like that.
Yeah, we nailed it. We nailed the hours a long time ago.
Yeah, I got so many subs from doing shorts, which don't help you for your amount of watch time. So
yeah, I don't know how many watch hours we had, like 7,000 or something. People like watching us; they just don't like to subscribe. Oh, yeah, it's something like that. Oh, it's under monetization. Yeah, 6,983 watch hours. 600 subs. But I don't push the algorithm. You know, somebody said, "What's your end game?" They asked Ed that today. What is his end game? And we don't have hardly any live streaming hours on my channel. We had a couple of videos that were like 3,000 hours. But This is my end game, folks. So if you were to ask me the same question, I was going to say that in the channel today. I'm like, this is my end game. My end game is talking to you fine folks to waste your time every Saturday night at 7 p.m. So it's, this is my end game. I'm here. I'm happy. I'm happy to have you all listening to me and fussing at me and telling me how wrong I am and all that shit. I dig it all. I love it. Bring it on.
Yeah,
But I like talking.
My end game is to get as old as humanly possible and die at the end. Like that's my whole plan. Yeah, I know.
That's actually gonna happen, but
yeah, I know. And it's nice when it all comes together at the end like that.
but my end game is being able to talk, invent magic, because I know most everybody in the chat here, they want to talk, invent magic too. I'm unafraid to jump on a camera and on a mic and do it live. I hate seeing the community divided. I see a lot of arguments, and I guess that's what I'm trying to still wrap my head around with the whole series of announcements that are coming out. Like the CEO talk, I don't really care. First off, people, let's put it into real perspective. Everybody's looking at WotC like they're making the company fail and they're just sucking. Have you looked at the stock market lately? Like every company is sucking and failing at the moment. Even mine.
Terrible. I logged into my my deferred compensation account the other day. This has not been pretty. That's why I don't do it very often.
Well, I mean, yeah, I regret looking at my my portfolio as well. But it is what it is. You can't, not looking at it, burying your head in the sand doesn't make it not true. WotC, in my opinion, is keeping afloat a company that's been flagging for a long time because they're not changing with the times. Even Magic's not. Magic is what, 70 to 80% of Hasbro's income. They're lucky to have them.
What I'm hearing is about 75%. So let's,
But 70%. Games, no offense, Monopoly, all that kind of shit that Hasbro built its fortune on.
Yeah.
Kids aren't playing that nowadays, folks. It's just not what they're into.
There's no innovation to it. If you buy a board of Monopoly, you go down to Walmart, you spend your $17.97 and you buy Monopoly. You don't need to ever buy it again. There's no change to it. You don't buy new hotels or new $5 Monopoly bills to make it better. There's no change to it. Where Magic the Gathering, every time a set comes out, a dedicated player is looking at what their changes need to be. Oh, standard. It's constantly changing. Ooh, this card just got banned in modern. I got to change my deck around. There's something different about the game itself. And that's why I think the monetization technique of being able to keep putting out product keeps people buying into it, even in such a pretty turbulent market. And I think they're putting out too much product. And they just said in a recent announcement that they have an inventory problem, where the problem is they have too much inventory. So that just goes to show that they can't sell everything they're making. So
but how many companies are suffering from that right now? The world lately has been very topsy-turvy, and there is all kinds of shit of all kinds, folks. Fingernail clippers, magic cards, pottery supplies to umbrellas are just sitting in warehouses all over the place, backed up on docks, and just the world is in a tumultuous place at the moment, all due to the Ronas and financial markets and wars, and it just it's a very dynamic time, right? So WotC is doing okay given the current climate. I hate to say it, but they are. I don't like much of the decisions that they're making. I've said it many times about, hey, slow down. You guys must obviously not watch what I put out. I did a wallet fatigue video like a year ago saying, whoa, time out, too much.
Yeah. It's a consistent problem as of the last 3 years, really, where Pretty much right after Throne of Eldraine, when they came out with the collector's box, it seemed as though there was a big shift in the way that Hasbro was pushing forward the bar of getting more money from people. And the variations right after that, right ahead, and came out with more slurry of product. It wasn't just, hey, here's something new. It's here's more stuff, here's more stuff, here's more stuff, and in different ways to buy it as well. And I think we're going to see even more of that, unfortunately. And stuff that's just not even fucking related, like these starter decks. Don't get me wrong, it's a cute way to get kids in your local store to start playing the game, but it's just something totally separate, just completely different. And Jumpstart was a great claw at our wallets as well, but they used the name to deliver something that wasn't true to the name.
Well, and here's something to think about, right? Just before Throne of Eldraine, these words did not exist in the Magic lexicon. You ready for it? And I'm probably missing some, so you guys can chime in here and chat if you want to. And I don't have sleeve Sal Shred for tonight, personally. I don't know if Pat does. I've been a little unwell all week, so
Yeah, I got them set up, but we're totally fine skipping that. I'm trying to
But
answer a text message. It
so
looks like
here
BB
are
wants
some
to get
things.
online with us.
Here are some things that were not in the Magic lexicon prior to just Throne of Eldraine, which really wasn't that long ago. Set boxes, collector boxes, secret lairs, all the different types of foils. I'm not even going to go through them, but several different types of foils. The different, what are they called? The special borders. Like, I hate the rule book art. What are those called? Showcase art.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, and so many different.
Jumpstart, Commander Legends. You know, all these things did not exist prior to, the showcase borders prior to Throne of Eldraine, and that's just a couple of short years ago. So, and there's so many more. I'm sure there's other things that I am missing, but the Magic world was much simpler, just like 3 years ago, right? And not only the number of sets that are coming out, but the plethora. Oh, what we also had the what was the Commander Black. I don't know what you would call those, the Commander
Yep.
Edition.
Commander Collection Black.
You know,
And they had a
these
couple of other versions.
these things didn't exist. And where I'm going with this is that not only have they put too much product out there as far as like the number of sets that are coming out, but too many different variations of those sets and variations within those sets. So people that are completionists, and there's a lot of us out there, people like to have complete sets of things or complete play sets of things.
Kind of blows my mind that that's still a thing, but hey, big ups. Dave, I sent you a link through your email account, so check Gmail or whatever.
Yeah, Throne did have, but I mean that was a one-off. It's not a standard part of the vernacular, because I didn't put in there VIP boosters and these other one-offs like commemorative edition, because those are going to be one-off prints. But
and also
things that have become part of the lexicon. I'm sorry.
And also all of the secret layers, those being
it's a secret layers.
Single run as well.
But all those things have become standard fare, right? And it has become, it has to find its place, and it can't at the pace that they're pushing this out. Additionally, you're trying to force it onto a 25-year at that point established market, right? And hey, established market, here's all the things, and you need to change. BBD.
What is up, kid? How you doing?
Going spelunk in there.
Is that a euphemism for something?
No, spelunking.
Are you out running around in the woods trying to look for value from Magic the Gathering's latest set?
I'll tell you what, that's the one place it isn't in there. Other than using the trees to print all that cardboard.
I know what Dave's looking for.
What's up?
Yeah, right.
Hey, hell yeah, man. What's up, Mr. Egg? Yeah, you guys maybe seen one of those. Hey, Christmas is right around the corner.
For all the butt hurt.
What's that, Pat?
It's a suppository for all the butt hurt.
Yeah. No, I. By the way, I was in and out of contact for you guys, but I'm good now. No. I was just gonna say, I never hate on anybody that will buy like a commemorative set or things of that nature. By the way, I look like Bob now. I got the beard going on, and
Oh yeah, you look just like
yeah,
the twins.
rocking it, baby, rocking it. But no, I would never hate on anybody that buys into that, like that buys into Secret Lair. I just personally don't care for those types of things. And Bob, to your point, I just stay away from them. And I have my own opinions on those. But definitely they are printing the shit out of everything. And like it's just too much. It's sensory overload at this point. And you might I won't say they'll kill the product because there's so many like magic enthusiasts out there, but they can really hurt it if they're not careful. So they just have to be careful. That's just my 2 cents on that.
I mean, I haven't answered a Coach's question, and I think it's a great question in there. Coach says, "Why is everyone complaining about too much product? If you don't like it, don't buy it." Right, Bob? Sorry, my
Correct.
minimum one troll comment. And to some extent, you're correct. And I'll explain 2 facets of an answer for this. Number 1, correct. You should never buy anything that you don't believe in and don't want. Right? Don't buy it if you're. So many people are into the financial reward aspect of this, and then get butthurt when they don't get it. Right, and that's your fault if you do that. To be quite honest with you, once you bought a product, so long as you got the product and you get GI Joe cards in it, you got delivered what you paid for. Secondly, I think that they are causing a problem by printing so much that you end up with the situation that they're in now, with warehouses full of product, and then you have these stores that depend on making their living off of the prices that they paid at release and have to buy it pre-release. I think they're going to force LGSs to adopt a new business model that WotC won't like, and that is they'll buy it after release, right? So products that don't do well, even LGSs will say, "Fuck you," and they should, in my opinion. LGSs shouldn't have to buy shitty product that the market is rejecting.
Yeah.
Now, when they create these situations where they print so much of it that they have warehouses full of it, then they end up with a situation where they have to dump their inventory, just like any company. And anytime you do that, 50% off sale, and if it gets too bad, 70% off sale. We see it with jeans, shoes, cars, you name it. When you have too much inventory overload left in warehouses,
Absolutely.
it's the only choice you have. So printing too much is a problem in both of those ways, but I agree still with you, Coach, even if you're mocking me. If you don't like it, if it's too much, don't buy it. Like, look out for your best interest. That's my personal message to everybody. Fuck your LGS. Fuck Big Box Dave. Fuck Pat the Pauper. Fuck me. Do what's best for you. Period. That's what we're doing.
Yes.
That's what I recommend you do. Do
Well
what is
said.
best for you.
Well said.
Yeah, you've always got to look out for number one.
Absolutely.
Legitimately, how triage works from the battlefield mechanics. If the doctor gets hurt, they have to take care of themselves first. How can you treat another if you're wounded? And that's the thing, is you can't help your family, you can't help your friends if you waste all your fucking money buying Magic the Gathering product that isn't worth anything to you or to someone else second market. So don't buy anything that you don't love. There's just not enough. I get way too thin when I pull out my wallet, so I make sure that I'm buying the stuff that's worth it to me. Whether it's healthy food when I'm buying oatmeal, or if I'm buying razors, I make sure I get the good stuff. I can skimp a little bit if I'm gonna buy rice or something, but hey, that romaine lettuce, that better be the top shelf. If I'm gonna buy Magic product, it's the stuff that I want to enjoy. I'm not going to get tomatoes. Fuck that. I want a sweet bell pepper when I buy a Magic product.
Well, and to Coach's point, I don't know if you can see the comments here, BBD, so I'll read it out to you. Coach says, was talking with an LGS. They also have to put their orders in before spoilers. Hard to pick and choose. And if someone comes in looking for something and you don't have it, the LGS loses more. I recommend to LGSs and any LGS watching this, change your business model. You do not have to buy from them. You can buy off the secondary market and sell it.
Yeah.
Here,
I mean, I am
here's
straight up.
here's
I-
Buy
here's
it
my
from Rudy.
issue.
Buy it someplace else. Buy it off the other stores that are willing to sell it cheaper, and then put it in your store. Don't buy shitty product.
This is my contention with what they're doing right now. Is that oh damn, okay, it just got really dark. Sorry about that. The contention is this: is that if you like a box of World Wake right now, over $1,000, like $1,200. World Wake wasn't that long ago. So if they're putting out water, and that was only 10 years ago. If you're looking at Magic from an investment standpoint, the best way to do it is honestly to build the time machine, go back, invest in it, and wait 10 years. But the product that we have right now, how's that value going to hold up in 10 years? Like, what's the longevity of the game? That's what, and like, hey, Dave's an idiot. Yeah, Dave is an idiot, but I actually think about those things. And I think that's where my issue with the amount of product that is coming out comes to light.
Sure,
So,
and
sorry, guys,
and
I'm
Dave,
uphill.
no, I totally agree with you. And I buy product. I'm still, you know what? I'm planning on buying product after this. I'm not affected by their statement or their downturn in their stock. I'm not going to let it sweat me. You know, if I didn't have the money, and I have to pull back because I'm dropping a few grand to go to Vegas here. I'm not made of unlimited money. I bought $5,000 worth of Double Masters 2022. How much money? I bought a case of Dominator United. How much more money do you think I have in my wallet, guys? It's not.
No, Bob, you follow your own advice, dude. You pick a product that you think will be well or that you really like. You save up for it and you buy it. Like that's the way it should be. Not everybody is entitled to every bit of product that comes out on the market. For damn sure.
I'm not.
And no, I know. And I know I shit on the commemorative set, but I would never shit on somebody that buys into a commemorative or secret rare set. I would never do that because that's
let me ask you this, Dave. You shit on it, but let me ask you this. First off, do you think it's going to have any problem selling out?
It's going to sell. I already said it like a long time ago. It's going to sell out in less than 2 days.
So it's going to you believe it's going to sell out, and
it's
going to go up in value.
I think it will appreciate, and then it will depreciate, and then appreciate, and then depreciate, just like Magic always does.
And it'll just get passed back and forth like a.
So it's just a higher price. It's just a higher price, non-impactful. And let me tell you this: commemorative edition has zero impact on the Magic game. They're not tournament legal. It affects 0% of the formats.
Yeah,
it's a collectible item that will appreciate over time. But again,
people were saying, oh, it's what do they call that? A gatekeeper or whatever it's called. That like this, they're stopping people from being able to get into the game. They're stopping investors from being able to buy it. It's like,
no, those are the haters. Those are the people that either A, can't afford it, or just B, they don't want to see that set come back because it's a special set. Those are like the old.
Guess folks, what, folks? I would really love to have. I'd love to have the 2023 Corvette. I think that car is fucking sweet. But guess what? It's price gated on me. I can't afford $100,000 for a car. I mean, I probably could, but then I couldn't buy any Magic cards. Right? It's like it's not worth it to me.
It's obscene that Maserati is making cars out of my price range. I am so pissed that they are making products I cannot enjoy. I'm going to go on the internet and bitch about, they're
ruining the car market.
Yeah, I just saw this 100-foot yacht.
No, it's always going to be it's supply and demand type of deal. And it is a low supply on that set. So that's why it's going to sell so quickly, because people are going to be like, oh my God, I got to get this. And it's not just the whales. Bob is not a whale. I've been to his house. Bob has a very nice collection, but he's not a whale by any stretch of the imagination. It's not just the whales that are going after this. It's people that are going to stop buying stuff, put money aside, and pick one of these up because they like the flavor of it. It's their thing. It's just not mine. So
the cherry pickers.
That's just the way.
There's going to be a lot of cherry pickers out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's an easy one to hate. It's an easy one to hate on.
Bob and I were discussing right before we
I
started
hate on it, not because it's easy. I just hate on it.
Saving your money, putting it somewhere that you want to enjoy that that purchase, whether it be a sealed product, whether it be a heated car seat, or a trip to Vegas, or a new Xbox. If you want to buy some Lord of the Rings product, if you want to enjoy having a good time playing that with your friends, make sure you're putting your money to use. Whether it's in a new
That's my
card for your
Maserati.
commander deck that's like your new favorite one.
This is an amazing game, folks. It really is.
Oh, I'm losing you
If
guys.
you want
I'm
to,
losing
if you want
Oh,
a challenging
bye,
PVE
Dave.
you guys. I'm losing
card
you.
game,
Deuces.
peace. This is it, folks. This is a great one. I can't recommend it enough. It's a fantastic game. Give it a shot. Do not play the shitty one on Steam. I played that. I was really excited for it, and I'm like, it's not even the same game. That sucked. But you could get one of these. I think it's been maybe out of print now. I don't know. I don't know if they still make the expansions for it or not. Now it's not a collectible card game. It's what they call a living card game. So if you buy the base set like this, it has the exact same set of cards as every other base set out there. And oh, by the way, you do have to have this base set to play. They have other expansions that you can buy to add on to it. Fantastic PvE game. I highly recommend Magic players that have any interest whatsoever in a future with PvE and Magic to play this game, because I think it'll give you ideas for mechanics that you can throw at it. You can see ways that WotC could do it. I said it earlier on the stream. Sure, borrow mechanics from other things that are successful, other things that fucking work out. Borrow mechanics from video games. Borrow mechanics from Monopoly. Borrow mechanics from other things, and create something new. And you don't even have to stop making the old. This would be one more product I would love to see WotC make with Magic or Magic related. Maybe even fold in. I'd love to fold in my card collection that I've been gathering for almost 30 years now. And I think
if unsanctioned wasn't a pile of garbage, and that you had a different way to engage with the product, a different way to play it. If it were out of the box, you're rolling dice or spinning a dial or something to play the game with cards that you already have. Unsanctioned could have been something great. It clearly wasn't from anybody who opened the product, but there's a lot that they can take from other games. Make it like you're saying, a living card game. There's so much that the evolution of Magic still has to go, and I hope it's just not into more and more crossover products and more BS. I think that my biggest thing is too much supply, not enough demand. I think they need to turn that down.
I agree. I think they've given themselves almost an impossible mark to hit, though, with their directive, and that's why they dialed it back. If you heard about they're doubling the profits and cutting it back to like 30% now, and just like the corporate shenanigans. So if anybody bought into that to begin with, so let me dispel a couple of things. First of all, like, I don't know why I keep hearing that, well, WotC just doesn't care about us. They've proven that they don't care about us. I've been playing for almost 30 years. I don't know that I ever felt that WotC gave two fucks about me. Like, seriously. Ever. That's not a prerequisite for me to play a game. Think I give two shits about how Blizzard feels about me? I just want them to put out a good goddamn game. I didn't care about how I doubt that Fantasy Flight knows I exist.
Well, and that's a great example. I'm a big Bethesda fan. I'm a huge follower of the Fallout games and Skyrim and all that jazz. It's very clear they don't care about their customer base. The people who are actually playing the games, they don't really care to satisfy as much. It's more about what they want to do as the people making the games. And that's the same thing for this company as well. They have a bottom line. They have stakeholders and people that have shares. And if they're not satisfying the bottom line, then that's the biggest thing to them. They're a company. It says incorporated at the end of their fucking name. So that says something to you.
So, I think that we as the players, and I'm going to say you guys, because I don't have as much emotional attachment, apparently, as much of the public out there. Savannah Lion, that was exactly where I was going. It was, that was a worse time of Magic than it is right now. Let me tell you, at least from my personal perspective. And that was right when I started. That was not a good time. But Pat eloquently pointed out, this is a company, folks. It is a company. They're not your friends making a game. They're not some Kickstarter begging for approval from the public out there. It's a proven product over 30 years. And again, I just don't know that I ever felt that WotC gave two shits about anybody. They care about how they get money out of my wallet. That's it. That is their bottom line. How do I buy products from them? And it goes the same for every gaming company out there. I went to Gen Con and I paid $60 to play one game for me, my daughter, and my fiance of one of the new Zombicide releases. And I didn't understand some of the rules. So I had some rules questions written down about how to play the game, and they had a special version that they were going to play. So as they were setting up, and I realized I paid $60 for a half-hour segment for 3 people to play a board game. And I really just wanted to get the answers for my questions for my play group when I came back. And, because I'm a rules kind of based person. That's everybody that plays Magic. You're all about rules. I hate to tell you, because every card has rules on it.
That's
cards
exactly
have the rules for the card, and there's a framework of rules that all cards operate within. So you kind of have to know, how does this mechanic work? And so I asked that very question to the guy that was setting up, and I was being very cordial and nice and friendly. And he was like, I don't know. And then I like, okay. Then I asked the next question. I'm like, what happens in this scenario? What should we be doing? And I asked, when I got to the third question, he goes, look, buddy, it's a game. Play it the way you want. And this was the representative from the company that made the game. And I'm like, I would love to play it the way I want. I just don't know what to do when we run into these scenarios in the game you created with the rules you gave us. Yeah. So you're going to tell me that it makes me feel like that company gave two flying fucks about me buying a shit ton of their product and paying $60 to play 30 minutes with one of their representatives? No, game companies don't care about you. Just break that delusion. I hope that everybody watches this video and hears that statement. Divorce yourself from that delusion, and you'll be much happier. Yeah. And as far as Mark Rosewater, I'm looking forward to playing with that knucklehead in Vegas and doing some Unfinity. But he is a knucklehead. And anybody saying that some tweet or blog or some other shit that he puts out is some gospel from WotC, come on, grow up, people. You put out legal documents and contracts, real contracts. And for there to be a contract, you have to sign it like a EULA, even if it's digital. It's not just, hey, we put some shit out there and you guys believe it, because it's kind of a promise, sort of. That's not a contract. Sorry, it's not. What they print on their pages, their official policies, that you can kind of hold their feet to the floor. But even then, try to put that shit in front of a court of law. You're suing somebody over a game. That judge is going to smack you in the face and tell you to leave his courtroom because you're a player and you got upset that you lost money, that you bought a card, not even from the company, from somebody else, but you lost money because you bought this card for $70,000 from some other guy who has nothing to do with his company. What do you think that judge is going to say? Go sue that guy.
Yeah,
sue the guy you bought the card from, not the company. Yeah. Garbage, people.
Yeah.
Come on.
And that's
take responsibility for your own stuff.
It's not, you can't do that with a Honda Civic. I can't go back to the guy I bought it from 10 years later and say, hey, this is worth less now. Give me my money back. That's just not how any of this works. So sorry, boys and girls, everybody that falls in between, but life's hard. No one said it was going to be easy or fair.
So be smart.
Stop. Yeah.
Shop as smart.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. But what I can tell you is, once you get to 21 in America, you can drink alcohol, which makes a lot of your problems.
That makes it all better.
Yeah. It either makes it a lot better or a lot worse, depending on how you control it. And it's
or you can smoke in most places now too. It's like, hey, your options are growing.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in the world to be really upset about, and Magic the Gathering's commemorative 30th edition shouldn't be fucking one. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do about stuff getting hotter all the time. Like, man, I have a lot bigger things to be worried about than like cardboard and shit. Like I do the Magic stream once a week, and this is like as much as I want to make content about it, because it's a lot of negativity in the market right now, and bro, I don't need that shit. That's why I don't watch news in general. It's so negative. So like I'm playing on my fucking Xbox. I'm like hanging out with my friends. We're going for walks while it's still warm out and stuff. Man, enjoy your life. Don't spend all day bitching and moaning. It
Go
just leaves
play
you
some
a negative mood.
Unfinity. Go
Yeah,
play Unfinity with friends, and then
exactly.
you'll be happy with WotC. I
Yeah,
had a fucking blast. Get $20 together for 4 people and go buy a box. And if you don't have fun with that, well, then you shouldn't be in Magic.
yeah, right. You know, figure out something else to do. Maybe you get in a Risk. Like I was talking with Savannah Line there in the chat for a bit. That's a great game. And you know how fucking cheap it is? You can go buy one of those super duper fancy versions for $70 where it's all like etched foil and like hardwood pieces and stuff. And then you have it forever and you can play for hours and hours with friends and it's practically different every fucking time. So
Ooh,
go do something else if you're not having fun. Take a break.
Axis and
It's like
Allies.
yeah, I mean, Axis and Allies. Yeah, go ahead and
Ooh,
find something else to do for a while.
monstrous game.
And
Twilight
you know
Imperium. That's another one. Jesus.
how exciting it is to come back to Magic after a year or two break. Oh, so fun! All these sets that went by. Oh man, I didn't know that Goblin Archaeomancer was something, or blah blah blah. Some new fire card comes out. Go back, enjoy it later. Take as much time. Find something that you are having fun with. If you don't like what Magic's doing right now, don't fucking engage with it. That's my public service announcement for this evening. Tune in next week at 7 p.m. Well, actually, you want to talk about that real quick, Bob? Next
What's
week, I
that?
don't think we're going to have the MTG Gaming crew on. You
No,
guys,
we,
you and Bob are heading out, you and Matt
me
are
and
heading
Bob,
out. Huh?
and Ed too.
Oh, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and anybody else who wants to join us there. Yeah, we're trying to get a Twilight round of putt going at Bally's. Probably going to be Sunday evening. So let us know if you're in Vegas and you want to join us. Join Dual Brains in the comments there. Join his Discord, and we're trying to organize that. Hurting you guys is like chasing cats. So like you guys like to talk stuff, but Jesus, getting you to actually commit to something and say something.
Yeah.
Like chasing cats everywhere. I'm easy to nail down. I'm fat. I don't move fast.
Yeah.
But at any rate, it's going to be a good time. Like Pat said, that's where I chose to put a lot of my Magic budget this year, was going to Vegas and having a good time. We're going to try, Savannah. We're going to try to get some streams going if we can. They put limitations that you're not allowed to do photography or streaming at the event. So we'll see what we can do. We're going to try to at least give updates. We have the intent of trying to record as much as possible, and then at a minimum, relaying back to you guys what went on, what happened. Matt and I are going to try to do something daily, and record it and upload it. May not be the highest quality, but at least it'll be fast and fresh and right off the presses. So go subscribe to my channel and hit the alerts. What's that? The bell? I don't even know. I'm so bad at the YouTube thing. You guys need to help me out.
Hit the thumbs up, ring the bell, click the links down below. I think he has
do the stuff. You guys are more savvy with the YouTubes than I am. But try to find fun is what Pat is saying. This is supposed to be a game of fun, and it's become an economic obsession for more people than it is a game. Do I like the economics of it? Sure. Do I talk about things I find exciting economically? Do I think that some of them are going to perform well? Sure. And I still think it's going to happen. I don't care what the latest announcements are. Like I said, do you know how hard this thing is going to be to kill? Because you put it in the hands of the players. We have product. We have a great deal of sealed product. It would be so difficult for WotC to actually kill this. Do you know that they have for a game? It's not even this one. I have another. The original Lord of the Rings card game, Middle-earth card game, that they have. Oh, dude, and I so want to fucking do this. Let me see if I can find it. It's the Con at the Castle or something in Stahlich, Germany, where you go every year, and they play this other Lord of the Rings game once a year at a castle in Germany. It's a legit castle. I'm trying to look it up on Google's here for you because it's just so baller. I want to do it.
No worries. I'm
where
just
you get
reading over some of the beautiful folks that we have down here in the comment section tonight. Just another big shout out to everybody here tonight. Thank you for joining us live this evening. It's so wonderful to have all of you joining us tonight. You know, really big shout out to everybody. You're the ones that help make this worthwhile. I mean, I could just talk to Bob over Messenger or something, but interacting with you out there, it's what really helps, build this up to be something more than just a back and forth between two buddies. So it's great building up that little bit of community. So thank you everybody out there in the comment section, and also later anybody viewing this.
Yeah, no, and please, if I offend anybody, realize that well, first off, F you. Secondly, I don't mean to. I love having all you guys come here. This makes my Saturday. So thank you all for making my Saturdays. I love doing this. I don't even care that it's not on my channel. It's, I honestly don't get much from it other than personal enjoyment of being here with you guys. Love hanging out with Pat. Love hanging out with you guys. It is what it is. Magic's about the community for me, period. So I could give two fucks if I ever make any money on it. I really don't.
Same.
So here we go. I'm sharing something.
Pop that bad boy up. Ooh.
Can you make it like full screen? Full screen?
Full screen, full screen.
Yeah, look at that bad boy. Imagine going here, getting pissed drunk, and playing card games with people of the same ilk. Now, they do this for just Lord of the Rings. I don't know. My scrolling, is that coming through? I never know if I'm doing it right.
Yeah, that's coming out fine.
That's actually this Lord of the Rings game. But they play the one that died in 1995. Like, they don't have. Do they have more pictures of it? They don't have. Where's more pictures? Why don't they have a damn library? Maybe they do, and I just fail at this YouTube's thing. Castle Stalick. So you have to get yourself to wherever the fuck this is in Germany. The Castle of Bacharach in the middle of Germany. Hello. It's not letting me click on things.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to click, but it's not. You can see. Can you guys see? I'm clicking. I'm clicking. It's broken. Oh, maybe I have to do cookies. No. What a shitty site. At any rate.
See, you just can't go there now. Yeah.
Right? It's like, what? What the shit? How do I? Anyways, I would love to do this. And I found, tickets are about $1,000 from the U.S. to get there, and then you have like a couple $100 for if you want to stay in the hotel or in the castle, because there ain't much around it. It's like some really, really podunk little place in Germany. But I would imagine, like playing Magic in a place like this. Imagine going someplace in Germany just to get high as fuck and play some Magic in a castle with people all weekend, right?
that does sound real fun. I mean, I went to a resort when I was in Vietnam, and it was previously a French castle up in some of their mountains, and they turned it into an amusement park. And spending the day up there, going on like mountain coasters, getting drunk, and doing like Ferris wheels inside, just super fun time. And again, it's stuff like that. We're talking about, having a fun time. Maybe you want to save your money instead of buying Magic right now. That's kind of what I've been doing. That's why I haven't seen any crazy stuff.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, someone somewhere is having a good time, and it might be you if you're doing shit right. If you're buying every single Magic product that comes out, you're probably not that guy that's having a fun time. So be smarter.
I'd love to, Savannah. Don't get me wrong. I'd play in a windmill. I'd wear some clogs. I'd buy some tulips. I'll go to Holland.
I think they got out of the tulip thing. I'm pretty sure they're still in the bust mode for that.
and Coach, don't ever stop throwing arguments, whether they're lighthearted and just jabs. I never want to squelch anybody's voice. Now, the only time I want to squelch a voice is, you're stupid. Okay. Why? Because. Okay. Shut up. Like, if there's no rationale behind it, then I don't want to hear it. It's like, even if you feel that way, I don't care. There's nothing I can do about it. if you have nothing intelligent to say about it.
Yeah.
And you know, I love hearing all the different opinions. What I have been concerned with, like I said, with the 30th, is it seems very misdirected. Like Pringling is on fucking point. You know, there's a very decided argument, a very definite problem, and a very definitive reason why it's a problem for collectors and players alike. And I agree. They need to fix that shit. That's terrible. They're considered marked cards coming directly out of a pack. What if you drafted it? What the fuck? Seriously, you can have foils in every pack, but you go to a draft and now you have an illegal card out of the pack?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I think today, Tolarian Community College put out a video about the Warhammer decks, the Surge Foil editions, and how ridiculously curved they were right out of the box, and then a day later as well being exposed to the air.
Warhammer 40K decks?
Yeah, exactly. And something like that, even if your play group's fine with all your cards being super curled up, it makes your deck just unwieldy. And I want a product that doesn't seem like it's damaged when it comes out. See, like, this is something, honestly, to be unhappy about. Is
Yes.
the quality of cards that you're getting. Whether or not it's something you want to buy. I mean, shit, like a lot of people are saying, I won't ever buy foil Secret Layers because it's going to come in all fucked up. And
Well,
that's
just because we like...
So I wanted to talk about the Magic 30th Secret Layer. Now, 1 in 3 cards, little less, 30% of the cards have a foil to them, right? I bet you'll be able to tell through the little sealed packet which ones are and are not foiled because of this curve. So, I wonder if we'll see a lot of those sealed going online because of that.
You want me to show you recently printed non-curled Magic foils?
Wait, did they make recently printed non-curl Magic foils? I didn't know that was a thing.
They make them in every set.
Oh, tokens. Yeah.
Okay, why?
Yeah, because they're... Yeah.
Why is a token flat as a pancake?
Yeah, it seems to be foil on both sides. I don't know why.
Foil on both sides, Watsy. Oh my God, what a fucking... Like, there's no way you can tell me that even they, as slow as they are on the uptake, have not picked up on this. So you know what the simplest solution is for now?
Double foil.
Until they can figure out something better? For all foils, do it on both sides.
Double foil, baby. Double foil. I'm
seriously. Like that would cure until they can come up with a better foiling technology.
Yeah.
Etched foils don't seem to curl, and I'm fine with that. And I think a lot of people are too. I just don't think it did as well as they hoped it would. I think they were hoping that etched foils would be far more desirable, but then they fucked it up because, well, in all honesty, etched foils are too dark. They have the colors wrong.
A lot of them are.
The fidelity, if you want to look at it that way, is low.
Yeah.
The picture quality is off. So, you know, until they do it, double side your foils, Watsy. I mean, seriously, folks, if you want to get me into a gripe session about Watsy all day long, sure. I'm down with that shit. You want my biggest gripe even more than foils? Selling on Amazon.
Ooh,
I know Pat loves Amazon, but you want to talk about absolutely destroying your community? Woo! That is one move that will destroy the community faster than anything else that they could possibly do. And the reason is because they're the biggest competitor that has the deepest pockets, that can soak up losses, drive every LGS out of business. And let me ask this, when's the next Amazon Magic tournament?
Right.
Oh, that's right. They don't host them.
Yeah. What does Magic give you for buying a box of Magic cards? When you go on Amazon and you buy a sealed box, you don't get your buy a box promo. Like if you were to go down to your LGS, you're missing out literally by buying through them instead of your LGS. Even though, you know, delivered to your door, your PO box, you're missing out on some of the experience and product itself.
Honestly, if you want my opinion on how they fix Magic right now, to like reverse course on that ship, stop selling through big box stores, take over the distribution chain so that you don't have these middlemen that take their giant chunk out of it. So Sorry, all you effing middlemen. I don't think anybody would miss you. All you distributors, let WotC take over distributorship. You're going to tell me a $1 billion company can't handle their own distribution? What? What? Like, what? Seriously. You're just not going to convince me of that. That they can't manage their own distribution. They are with secret layers. They could definitely do it for all their boxes that could go to 3,000 plus LGSs.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. Like they're away, and they cut out that middleman. They could save some money for the LGSs. It would be faster to market. You wouldn't have the problems with the middleman taking their chunk out of every price increase, making the 11% price increase magnified 3 times.
Putting MSRP on a product as well, having an actual suggested retail price would be something as helpful as releasing market numbers. If we knew.
Oh God, we haven't even gotten there yet. So I mean, yeah, if you want to bitch stream about WotC, I'm willing to go all night, baby. And yeah, high up on a list is give us your fucking production numbers.
Yeah.
Or that doesn't affect players. That's
the things you're most excited about for your Vegas trip. We could talk about that instead if you want to go to a happy place.
Sure, I'm happy about them interviewing me so I can bitch about them having pringled foils and bad distributorship. And no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting the people. I'm not even playing that much. I think I'm going to play in 3 games because I didn't know that my collector draft was going to be scheduled at the same time as the Mark Rosewater thing. Also, by the way, if you are going, make sure you download their app thing that you have to get to like register your badge, and then you have to check in for your games half an hour before the game. And so public service announcement for all those Vegas travelers, make sure you go get that app. I have to do that. And Savannah, I would love to come play in a windmill. That would be baller. But I don't know that I even have that kind of. That's pretty pricey to get over there, and it's a little funky in that part of the world at the moment. A little too close to Russia for my taste. But at any rate, definitely looking forward to Unfinity. I want to crack a box with friends because I'm gonna get to play head to head. I'm gonna do a draft, and I just don't think that it's going to play nearly as fun head to head for Unfinity as it does multiplayer.
I believe that. Yeah,
I think that multiplayer smooths out
multiple people. Yeah,
multiplayer smooths so many things out. Like I would have been dead right away because I didn't get to play hardly any cards. My deck was mainly green and didn't draw one for 17 turns. Didn't draw a green land. And that's after mulliganing because I had a 1 land green. I had a 1 forest hand, my draw hand. So I mulliganed down and ended up with a swamp and a plains. I only splashed in black. I put in 3 black lands, drew all 3 of them, and never got to a forest. And most of my cards were green. I was like, really? That just happens in Magic. Now, I'd have been dead early on in the game if there weren't 5 players there. I'd have just been dead without playing anything.
Yeah.
So I think that multiplayer is certainly it's a more appealing way to play Magic if I have to play head-to-head, if I have to play against other players. I like multiplayer because it adds different dimensionality to the game. Is it slower? Yes. You're not going to get your 30-minute games in. Sorry. I think that's why Commander, it's not just me that loves it. Commander is the multiplayer format. It's a casual multiplayer format that is the definite format of choice by the mass audiences out there. So makes sense to me that Unfinity plays better multiplayer. Everybody's kind of used to that now, and it's just I think you should consider that if you have a large enough way to play in a play group or even at a table, if it's not tournament, if it's not money on the line and whatnot, just see if your guys, gals, and whatever at your LGS are willing to sit down, grab 3 packs of Unfinity and put a draft together. That was fun as shit. Really fun.
Yeah, I'm saying down here with Savannah, it's definitely a way better way to play with your friends. Instead of it being so direct, hey, me versus you, it's, everybody in the sandbox kind of scrambling as well. It's just a different way to play, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so looking forward to the great possibility of a player versus boss monster kind of thing, where it's even more cooperative. You know, it's there's a lot to Magic, and I really think that the further we go along, the evolution of Magic might well become more entertaining than it is right now. I think this is just a turbulent time as they're trying to get things kind of figured out.
Well, it's just a turbulent time in general. I mean, everybody has to admit, you know, even our grandparents didn't see shit like what just happened in the last 3 years, right? So, it's just hang in there, folks. We're hanging in there. I will say this, like, and as sure as I'm sitting here, Magic is not going to die. It's just not going to die.
Yeah, it's true.
Will it be ever as healthy as it once was? Who knows? It's not new. It's 30 years old. Kind of been there, done that, and it's a very Pop-Tart microwave kind of society that we live in. What have you done for me lately? So WotC's going to have to figure out a way to make that shit evolve, to keep it fresh. People need that. Younger people are clearly the lifeblood that's coming into Magic, and they need constant stimulation. I say this as a father of an 18-year-old turning 19 next week, that attention span of younger folks for things is way different than when I was young. Like, that's not just being an old guy. That's like, holy shit. Like, the plethora of, like, phone games and Oculus games and just different types of games and things that she's into changes like 25 to 30 different things each year. Right? It's the thing that she's into. Yeah. I was not like that. I doubt that many of us were into 30 different things, golf, fishing, whatever. And they're not the same 30 things from year to year. They're 30 different things every year. It's like, oh, this is the latest and greatest Animal Jam. What's Animal Jam? That's so yesterday. Genshin Impact, Daddy. I mean, just, oh my God. And it's like, when I was young, Zelda was a thing for like 4 years. The OG one, that was the top dog. But now, the attention deficit is so vast. They've, people are talking about League of Legends like it's, a new hip thing. It's not. Damn game's 10 years old. Kids don't play that. Like, that's going to have the nostalgia crowd. World of Warcraft, it's a bunch of geriatric fucks like me running around. There was an 80-year-old lady playing it. So putting that in context of Magic and WotC, it's a card game that gets printed that takes 3 years to even hit print. I don't know how they're going to meld that with an audience that needs new stimulation every 10 days.
Yeah. And it's just so hard to compare a trading card game like Magic to other games. Like, I was just watching something. GTA 5 turns 10 years old in just a few months here. Ridiculous. The newest Grand Theft Auto game came out 10 years ago, and people are still playing it. So if you have a really good product, it has the staying power. But if you have to keep putting out something to keep making money off it, you're just going to end up running either into the situation we are right now, or it dies out way beforehand. So, I mean, realistically, for me, it's just kind of hurry up and wait. Wait for the next big thing that interests me for Magic. And until then, I've still got 20 decks I want to build up. I want to get in proxies. I'm not going to spend the money. I'm not going to spend $2,000 on singles to, make a bunch of decks. I'm going to shop smart. I'm going to put that money to other stuff. For $2,000, I can take a good friend to the other side of the world for 2 weeks. It's kind of ridiculous. Instead of,
Here's the thing, and part of what you said is also part of the problem, and it's complex, folks. It's not simple, and a lot of our aggravation, a lot of people can't even put your finger on specific aggravation. So you find one thing that people can bandwagon onto, and that's the next thing you set on fire. Like, for example, Streets of New Capenna, not a bad set, but Jesus, I just saw a collector box for $99 advertised in my email today. I don't understand that, but okay. Even Baldur's Gate is not a bad set. Like Rudy keeps saying, Crimson Vow. I mean, when you talk about bad sets, I mean, go look at like, was it Gatewatch and freaking Dragon's Maze and just Homelands and Fallen Empires.
Cons.
Cons is a very low end, mediocre, high end bad. Compared to, and we're setting sets like AFR on fire. It's part of that is that we don't get the chance to digest our meal. It's like, here, quick, take 2 bites off your plate. Now pass left, new plate. It's like, wait, I didn't even get to eat the hold on. Okay. All right, now pass. It's like, I didn't even take a bite. Okay, time to pass. Like
the marketing department in WotC right now is like speed dating. It's like a dim sum restaurant. Just hurry up and get to the next one. Hurry up and get to the next. I want to have some time.
And that's a shame.
Yeah.
People can't form attachment to the cards. They can't form any kind of attachment to the lore. There's no way to build a trading community of any kind because you're already on to the new set before the last set's even like they're announcing on release the next set, like spoiling it.
Yeah, Person Kenobi talks about it all the time. It's perpetual spoiler season. We're always going from teasers to release to ancillary product to tertiary release to new footage that's coming out of a leak from some factory. It's nonstop.
Honestly, even as a content creator, I've stopped looking. I just wait to catch other people that have reported on it at this point. I'm like, I don't even care. I don't even care about spoilers anymore, folks. Like it has to be like honestly, I told you, Brothers War is not one that I'm super hot on. I don't think it's going to be bad. It's just it doesn't. I don't know whether I'm burnt out or I don't know what it is. I mean, it's fine. It's a fine concept, and I love that they're putting serialized cards in it. It's a shame I can't even get excited about serialized cards because I think that's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing. I'll pay attention probably to spoiler season on Dominaria Remastered. Very interested to see what's going on there. I'll be honest with you. All the Phyrexian stuff coming up, just not
Don't say
not exciting me. I'm sorry, it's not getting it for me. Yeah, I'm shooting pool at rope here on that one. And it's not exciting to me.
One of the things is, not every Magic product is for every Magic player. And the more that they release, the more that we'll skip. Because if they're making more stuff and I don't care for it and I don't want to play with it, I don't want to buy it, don't want to see it on my shelf or in my decks, don't play with it. Don't get it. So the more they put out, it might well be the less that I buy because they're putting out more shit and I'm not taking it. So the more they make, the less I take.
That's how I'm going. And honestly, standard is pretty dead to me. Like I have zero interest in anything standard. The next set that I'm looking forward to personally is the Lord of the Rings, and they could just as well fuck that up as they did AFR and every other IP crossover. Or Warhammer seems to be doing okay.
Yeah. Maybe they go ahead and give it the Warhammer treatment and really juice it up and give you a good product. But if they're doing the full suite of release that they were talking about, that's worrisome because it gives them more chances to fuck up. The more cards to print, the more errors that they can do. It's the more times that they can let it all down.
So, I mean, it just, I don't know. They seem to hang their hat on the IP alone and rather than focusing on a great product. That upsets me. Like the jumpstart, what they've done with that is just sickening to me.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I hope they don't muck up, jumpstart 2022. I hope that that's a banger product. I really do. I think it'd be a huge mistake for them to totally screw that up. Because
Well,
you
they've
see that
already,
Dominator United, Amazon even had Dominator United Jumpstart at $50 a box. I was like, oh,
yeah. And we were having the discussion on DJ's stream the other day there. How low of a price is the price for you to buy it? And it's like, it's just
honestly, I
not
wouldn't
going
buy
to
it.
be good. Yeah,
No matter
it's
what,
just
no
going to
matter
be
what price
stupid.
they would spit at me, it would have to be something ridiculous, like $5 a box. And the reason I say that is because I even if it was $20, I'd rather take that $20 and put it towards Lord of the Rings.
Right. Or
I'd rather have
shit.
$20 worth of Lord of the Rings potential future product right now, buying power, than $20 worth of Jumpstart.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, $20 in an interest bearing account is better than $20 worth of Dominaria.
What am I gonna do with that? I
Yeah.
can't. I can barely get the guys to want to play Unfinity, and like all they want to play is Commander in my group. So they're not just like open to everything. Like it's gonna be a hard sell to get them to play another round of Unfinity, even though they all seem to like it, except for Matt. Matt's a far
Yeah,
more
right.
competitive player than you would imagine. He honestly only cares about winning. He doesn't understand playing games just for the fun of it. Seriously.
Huh. Yeah.
So
I have a friend like that, one of my old coworkers. It's
Nikachu's
all
that
about
way.
winning.
So is Nikachu. Nikachu's a hyper competitive kind of person.
Yep.
You and me are much more kindred spirits on let's just have fun. Like I don't give a shit
Right.
who wins or who does what. Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I want to enjoy it, and everybody should be able to enjoy it the way they want to, unless their way of enjoying it is as you described it. There's only so much fun that can be had at the table, and I want to have all of it, and you have
And
none
I
of it.
want to have all of it. Yeah.
Like that's not okay to me. Right? If that's your way of having fun is that you have all of it and everybody else has none, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's
So
supposed to be
it
fun.
says current release date for Dominaria Remastered is December 31st, 2023. So the current release date is supposedly the end of next year. That's coming off of Amazon, which means they're doing something fucky with their like release and shipping. So it's never gonna come out. Yeah.
Psych.
Yeah, so apparently Dominaria Remastered
We're gonna have
is
Force
gonna
of
be a
Will.
lot like heads I
Never.
win, tails you lose. You can order it all you want. You just can't have it. It's
That's
like
why
the
it's
Eagles
$300.
song,
That's
right,
why it's
Bob?
$300 a deck right now because it doesn't really exist.
You can check out, but you can never leave.
All right, the Hotel California secret lair.
Or
Order
what
all
is
you
the
want.
other-
It's got every beta card printed in super foil, retro framed, serialized, one of one. Order as many as you want.
Yeah, you can check out, but it'll just never arrive.
Yeah. No, shit. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's another thing to bash WotC on is that like those delivery kind of things, and like there's so much to talk about, bad that WotC does do. That this hubbub that's gone on in the last week, I think it's sort of the target for people, not really the actual cause of people's upset with WotC, and I get that. That makes a lot more sense. I hate illogical arguments. And that's kind of where I'm at with the whole thing. And I'm not saying people don't have the right to feel upset about if that's the straw that broke your camel's back with the 30th commemorative edition, cool. But don't let that make your decisions for you. Because I have a gut feeling nobody can guarantee that it's going to do well. My gut tells me it's going to sell out and it's going to do well. Now, I may not have the money because of, what's behind me here. I don't know how much money I'm blowing there. I'm going to have some fucking fun, right?
Yeah, baby.
And I got some money, and that money is, not divorced from the money I would buy Magic cards with. So depends how Vegas goes as to whether or not I end up getting a 30th commemorative. If there isn't shit I want to spend money on there, well, then I buy some. If I blow all my money on hookers and blow and roulette while I'm there, then guess what? No commemorative edition for me. So.
Yeah, so some positive news, though, Savannah's bringing up here is that Advent, as it were, Secret Lair, the 30th commemorative there, the Secret Lair version coming out. Seems as though that's going to be on November 1st. So just a bit over a week now from our broadcast tonight. It seems like it's pretty good. I mean, we haven't got much more information as far as cards coming out in the set. We've got the few spoiled already, but lots of interesting new additions, editions, not additions, and a 1 in 3 chance for them to be foil. So seems like it's a interesting product. I know I'm certainly getting at least one for investment purposes. And if it's worthwhile, if they tell me any more really cool cards and some slick new treatments, I might be getting two. But it all comes down to if it's worth it. And I don't know yet. Luckily, they're going to go ahead and spoil the whole release before the sale goes live. So maybe it'll be worth it. Maybe it won't. We'll see.
I said my piece about it. Was it 2 weeks ago or was it last week? I don't remember. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I said it. You know, I think it looks good. I think it's worth the investment with just what they showed so far. I can't imagine that they're going to have 23 crap cards for the rest of it.
Right.
And it's almost up to financial value already. Plus, if you like any of that artwork on any of them, some of it's pretty dope. I love the Shark Typhoon one.
Yeah, that looks pretty sweet.
You know, pay attention to when they spoil the rest of them. I think unless you're sold on definitely getting it, watch the spoilers. Don't be an idiot. Don't be surprised when you get it and go, wow, that sucked. You know, if that's what you're looking for. If you're going to get it just because it's a cool idea and it's already got enough cards, it's worth it for you to buy it. I will say this, and I said it on the stream 2 weeks ago, so I don't know if anybody's even listening at this point. Make up your mind before the sale. This is a limited print
That right there.
secret lair. So what this means, yes, is that Savannah's right. Just like you guys remember what happened with the 30th edition secret lair with the mystery box and the egghead dudes, whatever that is, the secret lair. That shit sold out fast. There are limited quantities, and there are going to be limited quantities with both this and, as much as you like or hate, commemorative edition, that is already printed as well. These are already printed, folks. However many that are going to exist already exist. They're not print to demand. It does not mean they're unlimited. And if they don't limit the number of quantities that you can buy on both of these, I agree. They're going to sell out fast. And if I know anything about WotC's website handling of anything, it blows.
Yeah.
You get on and like you crash. Oh, reload. And then you go to reload, sold out. It's like wah. Just do yourself a favor. Don't add into that mix the decision-making process of whether you're going to buy it or how many you're going to buy. Make up your mind before, whether that's 0 or 1,000 copies of these. Make up your mind before the sale, and if you plan to buy more than 0 copies, be on there early. Make sure you have all your registration bits and signed in and all that shit before the secret lair goes on sale. I do believe that Joker is going to sell out fast, and I think it's the same thing that's going to happen. And I'm not trying to create FOMO. I'm trying to create clarity here. I'm not telling you go out and get it because you might miss out and it might become the next best thing. I'm saying make up your mind, whatever that's going to take, before the day of the sale, because this is different. This is not like other secret lairs. They are printing out a limited quantity, and they can, and most likely, in my opinion, will sell out. And then you're going to be pissed at WotC for something else. So I'm trying to prep you and save you that are willing to listen to the sound of our voice some agitation and irritation for either one of those two products. And in case you just caught this and you were only half listening, those two products that are already going to be pre-printed and sell out fast. Number one is going to be the, what is it called? The calendar event, whatever it's called, the countdown event, 30th edition secret lair.
Countdown to the 30th.
That thing is printed ahead of time. Limited number of quantities. You will get it in December. Number two is the 30th really divisive commemorative edition. Those are printed beforehand. There are going to be a limited number of quantities available. Make up your mind beforehand. Don't get to the day of, which is what, the 28th of November? Is that what they said, 20th? No. For the 30th commemorative. The commemorative edition.
I'm not sure on that one.
At any rate, we'll get the date for you. I don't think it's as soon. I think the secret lair comes out the soonest, which will be first. I won't see you folks before then. I won't be back here before then. So make up your minds. Like, don't fiddle faddle with that shit. Either say yes or no and live with it beforehand. Now, if you get fucked over by their website sucking, I can't say much. Just be prepared for it.
Yeah. Life sucks.
That's
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
and so does WotC's tech ability. I will bash the living Jesus out of them for their tech suck. It is bad. It is very, very bad. They are not a good tech company. So just be prepared for that. And the best you can do is be prepared with the buying decision. Don't go, man, do I really want it? Put it in your cart, hem and haw over it. No. Look at the numbers, crunch the numbers, and then when it gets there, boom, 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 buy,
Yep.
done. Like, know
Make
how
sure,
many you're going to buy.
You got your account loaded. Make sure you have
Yes.
your credit card on file.
Make sure you have
all
your
the
account
stuff.
created. If
Yep.
you've never bought Secret Layers, you have to have a WotC account.
Yeah.
So make sure you
There's
do
a
that
lot
like
of the little things
ahead of
people,
time.
omit. They don't think about this shit.
No, and then they get there and they're going to be like, what?
Oh,
Don't be shocked, folks. We're trying to help you right now. Said it 2 weeks ago. I'm saying it now because I won't have a chance again next weekend. If Pat does a live show without us, maybe he'll remind you, hey, don't forget. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Watch your heart rate.
Taking a breath.
Yeah, right. Deep breaths. Yeah. Cool down with a double-sided foil.
Well, the only way to cool down is with a beta dual land foil, dual-sided proxy.
Got to use one of the snow lands. Yeah. Now that's one of the things I'm still up in the air about what's going on for next Saturday. Not sure if there's going to be something. Might be me and some of the other sad folks that weren't able to get flights out for the 30th. But might also just do some pre-recorded content, looking at doing some interview style stuff. So maybe we'll do that. Who knows? Stay tuned for next week.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, I am so behind on shit I need to get done. I still haven't even retuned my deck for Vegas. I need to go do that. I'm running out of time for everything I got to get done.
Well, we've already spent 90 minutes doing this stream, so enjoy some Saturday evening doing that. Give a big old hug to Sherry and get some cards tuned up. It's gonna be fun. I'm just really looking forward to you recanting some tales about it. So until then, thank you everyone in the comment section, and thank you, Bob, for joining me here this evening. Y'all take
Absolutely.
care.
Look forward to seeing you guys in Vegas if you're going to be there. If not, I'll see you when I get back. Peace, love, have fun, everybody.